Hello students, today let us study about the geometrical isomerism. What is this geometrical isomerism? It is seen in alkanes. What are alkanes? Alkanes are the double bonded compounds. A double bond is a combination of one sigma bond and one pi bond. This pi bond is formed by the lateral overlapping of the p orbitals. So, in pi bond formation, the upper and lower lobes of the p orbital overlap to form a pi bond. So, it will not allow the molecule to rotate among itself. So, this geometrical isomerism arises due to the restricted rotation of atoms or groups around a double bond. So, what is the definition of geometrical isomerism? The isomerism that arises due to the restricted rotation of groups or atoms around a double bond in double bonded compounds or around a single bond in cyclic compounds. The cyclic compounds also show the geometrical isomerism, but around a single bond. Let us study about all of these one by one. Now, first of all, what are the conditions for a molecule to show geometrical isomerism? The conditions are they should have minimum one double bond. The presence of a double bond. Presence of a double bond. This double bond may be present in between carbon and carbon, or carbon and nitrogen, or nitrogen and nitrogen. Double bond may be present in between carbon-carbon or carbon-nitrogen or nitrogen and nitrogen. Okay students, and also each double bonded atom should be bonded to two different groups or atoms. For example, if we take a carbon-carbon compound, it should have the valency of carbon is 4. 2 valencies are for double bond and the remaining 2 valencies should be satisfied by two different groups. Okay, then only this is one of the condition to exhibit the geometrical isomerism. First thing is it should have minimum one double bond, and second one is the double bonded atom should be bonded to two different groups or atoms. That kind of compounds show geometrical isomerism. Now let us see how to name these geometrical isomers. In the nomenclature, that is the nomenclature. In the nomenclature, C double bond C. Let us take 2-butene. 2-butene. But means 4 carbon atoms. In this C double bond C, double bond is present on the second carbon. So, one methyl group on one side and another methyl group on another carbon. Hydrogen and hydrogen. You can see all the 4 valencies of carbon are satisfied. Now, if identical groups are present on the same side of the double bond, that is known as a cis isomer. If identical groups are present on the same side of the double bond, these are, you see here, the methyl groups are present on the upside only. Both are present on the same side. So, it is known as the cis isomer of 2-butene. So, it is cis 2-butene. If these methyl groups are present on the opposite side of the double bond like this, then it is known as a trans isomer, trans 2-butene. It is trans 2-butene. Here identical groups we have seen, it is 2-butene. So, on either side of the double bonded carbon atoms we have methyl and methyl groups only. If we take a 2-pentene, In 2-pentene, one of the carbon should have an ethyl group C2H5 and here also C2H5. Here this is one methyl group, it is one ethyl group. These are similar groups, they are not identical but they are similar groups. So, the compounds having similar groups on the same side of the double bond are also known as cis isomers. The groups may be identical or they may be similar. That kind of compounds are known as cis isomers. And if similar groups are present on the opposite side of the double bond, then it is called a trans isomer. I will write one more example. Let us take a unsaturated dicarboxylic acid. C double bond C, COOH, COOH, H and H. This is, its common name is malic acid. Malic acid. Its IUPAC name is cis-1,4-but-2-enoic acid. Cis-but-2-1,4-dioic acid, commonly called as malic acid. Its trans isomer is, the COOH groups will be on the opposite side of the double bond, COOH, H, COOH, H. So, both the carboxylic acid groups are on the opposite side of the double bond, which is known as fumaric acid. Its common name is fumaric acid. Okay, students. So, if identical groups or similar groups are present on the same side of the double bond, then it is called as cis isomer. If similar groups are present on the opposite side of the double bond, then it is a trans isomer. I'll take one more example. C double bond C, CH3, Cl, Br, CH3, or we can take C2H5. You see here, these are methyl and ethyl groups and these two are the halogens. These will have similar properties and these two groups will have similar properties. So, these are similar groups but not identical groups. Okay? So, this isomer is also called as cis isomer and its trans isomer will have alkyl groups on either side of the double bond and halogens on either side of the double bond. This is the trans isomer. Okay, students. Now, in cyclic compounds, how the cis and trans isomers exist, let us see. Mostly it is seen in cycloalkanes with 6 carbon, that means the cyclohexane. 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. In this CH3H, CH3H. Both the methyl groups are on the same plane of the molecule. So, it is called a cis isomer and its trans isomer will be, both the substituents will be on the opposite planes, CH3H, CH3H. This is the trans isomer. Cis 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane and trans 1,4-dimethyl cyclohexane. In cyclic compounds, it is written like that. Okay, students. Now let us see the other compounds having C double bond N. The compounds having a double bonded nitrogen. In the compounds having a double bonded nitrogen, the cis isomer is called as a syn isomer. For example, if we take azobenzene, azobenzene will have N. What is an azo group? N double bond N. N double bond N group is known as azo group. Around this, if it is C6H5 on one side and C6H5 on another side, two phenyl groups. This is azobenzene. If both the phenyl groups are on the same side of the double bonded nitrogen, C6H5, C6H5, then it is called syn. The cis isomer in the compounds involving double bonded N are known as syn isomers. So, it is known as syn azobenzene. Syn azobenzene, and its trans isomer will be having both the phenyl groups on the opposite side, one up and one down. Nitrogen, double bond nitrogen, C6H5, C6H5. This is the anti. The trans isomer is known as anti. Syn and anti are the terms used to represent the double bonded nitrogen compounds for cis and trans. Okay? Anti-azobenzene. Anti-azobenzene. Okay, students? Now, let us take other types of examples. Those are benzaldehydes. Benzaldehydes. Benzaldehydes are the compounds which involve C double bond N. C double bond N. In this, nitrogen will have OH group and this carbon has hydrogen, and benzaldehyde means C6H5, and the other isomer is C double bond N OH H C6H5. The names of these two are also syn and anti, and here you can see the syn isomer is the one which has both hydroxyl group and hydrogen on the same side of the double bond. So, here this structure is syn benzaldehyde, syn benzaldehyde, and this is the anti form in which OH and H are on the opposite side of the double bond. This is anti-benzaldehyde. Benzaldehyde. Okay, students, this is the geometrical isomerism. So, this geometrical isomerism is also known as cis-trans isomerism or syn-anti isomerism also. Okay, students. Now, what are the properties of these geometrical isomers? Isomers, these are the isomers. Any isomers will have the same molecular formula, but in the cis and trans isomers are more stable than the cis isomers. In cis isomers, we can see the identical groups are present on the same side of the double bond. So, there will be a repulsion existing in between the identical groups. These identical groups are on the same side, so there will be repulsion because of the similar properties. If they are present at trans position, the distance between the identical groups increases, so less repulsion. That's why the trans isomers are more stable than the cis isomers. That is one point. And these isomers will have same chemical properties, but different physical properties. Different physical properties. Okay, students? The cis and trans isomers are interconvertible. That means cis form can be converted into trans and trans can be converted into cis. In this, how a cis form changes into trans or vice versa? By heating. By heating to a high temperature, what happens is the pi bond, which is a weak bond, will be broken and sigma bond remains. Sigma bond is a single bond which allows the rotation of the molecule. So after that, on cooling again, the pi bond will be formed, which is known as reforming, and again the molecule may be rotated, some molecules may be rotated, or some molecules may remain as they are in the reactant molecule. So in the products we will have both cis and trans isomers. For example, if we take 2-butene CH3, C double bond CH3. Here I have taken cis 2-butene. This on heating to 350 to 400 degrees Celsius, the pi bond will be broken, only sigma bond remains. So this part may be rotated. That means the methyl group comes onto the right side and hydrogen goes onto the left side. So, or it may be rotated or it may not be rotated, and the pi bond may be formed on either side. So, we will have both cis and trans isomers as the products on cooling. CH3, C double bond C, CH3, H. This is the cis isomer as it is, as the reactant. It is 47% and its trans isomer will be more because the stability of trans isomer is greater. So the major product is the trans isomer and minor product is the cis isomer. It is 53%. Okay students, this is how a cis can be converted into trans and trans can be converted into cis, which is known as interconversion. This is the interconversion of cis and trans isomers. The another important property of this cis trans isomers is the dipole moment. The dipole moment. By seeing the dipole moment values, we can say whether the given structure has cis or trans type of structure. Okay. The dipole moment of cis isomer is always greater than the dipole moment of trans isomer. Trans isomers may have zero dipole moment also sometimes. In symmetrical compounds, the trans isomers will have zero dipole moment. In unsymmetrical molecules, they may have some dipole moment, but it will be less than its cis isomer. For example, this is the symmetric molecule. This is the symmetric molecule. This is the cis isomer. And this is cis isomer and its trans isomer. It is symmetric, so it will have zero dipole moment because methyl groups are electron releasing groups, and in between hydrogen and carbon is more electronegative. So electrons will be attracted towards the carbon, and hydrogen is on the opposite side and methyl groups are on the opposite side. So the net dipole moment, the resultant dipole moment will be zero for a symmetrical trans isomer. But in its cis isomer, that is not the case. These methyl groups are electron releasing and the carbon attracts the bond between carbon and hydrogen, but they are not equal. They are not equal. Here these are hydrogens and here these are methyl groups. So there will be difference in the attraction of the electrons. So the net dipole moment is not equal to 0. Okay? And in unsymmetrical molecules like 2-pentene like CH3, C double bond C, C2H5, this is the cis. Here it is one carbon methyl group, it is 2 carbon ethyl group. So these two groups are different. Even if we take its trans isomer CH3, C double bond C, H, C2H5. C2H5 means CH2, CH3 and H. This group is different and this group is different. The electron releasing group will be increasing in case of ethyl group when compared to methyl group. So these are not identical, therefore there will be development of dipole moment in the trans isomer also, and its cis isomer will have always higher dipole moment. So in this case the mu of cis is greater than mu of trans isomer. Okay students. So by seeing the dipole moment value also, we can explain the cis-trans nature of the isomers. Cis isomers always will have higher dipole moment than the trans isomers. In the MSET or NEET or JEE mains examinations, they will give you the mu values and you have to identify which isomer will have lesser mu value and which isomer will have higher mu value depending upon the structure and depending upon the arrangement of atoms or groups around the double bonded carbon atoms. Okay students? This is about the geometrical isomerism or cis-trans isomerism or syn-anti-isomerism. In the next video, I will explain how to calculate the number of geometrical isomers. Okay students?